Good, we're recording. You can go.
Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Justin Phillips, and it is absolutely my pleasure and privilege to be hosting today's webinar on this breakthrough opportunity. We have some amazing special guests for you today, and we're going to cover some content that we don't talk about all the time. This presentation today is about what we do and this incredible business that we're a part of. And we will cover some of the basics on the products, but we are also really going to focus more on, at this point in time, and this incredible time that we're on the planet, just how this can be incredibly helpful for so many people. So thank you very much for joining us from wherever you are, all over the world. And I am what we call an ambassador diamond in a seer, and that just means that I've had the privilege and the honor to help a lot of people all over the world in the last 5.5 years. And this certainly is the most fulfilling and purposeful and helpful thing I've ever done in my life. And I just want to invite you to take a look at that. And I request that you have an open mind. The mind's like a parachute. It only works if it's open. And just have a look at the information we go through today, and perhaps you might find something in there that could really, really help you. We've got a chat box there, so by all means, please use the chat box and put your questions and comments in there. And just ask us whereabouts you're listening in from, because it's always great to know whereabouts in the world people are joining us from. Okay, so a little bit about me. What I'm going to, my story is that I've been in health and wellbeing for 25 years. And unfortunately, I had a health challenge that started when I was 18 years of age. And I didn't really actually have plans to be a part of the health and wellbeing industry, but life had other plans for me. And so I started with some bizarre symptoms that was caused by a tick bite. And for 20 years, I studied a whole lot of different things, from nutrition, remedial therapies, paramedics, personal training, qigong, traditional Chinese medicine, all sorts of amazing things. And I ended up in this amazing, my dream business was a health food shop and a natural therapies clinic. And that's where I got to help a lot of people, but I also discovered some of the very challenging parts of being in traditional business. And I had this health food shop called Healthy Life Bribie Island, a beautiful Bribie Island where we live in southeast Queensland, Australia. And I had up to 7 staff and up to 11 subcontracted practitioners. Had a natural therapies clinic out there at the back of the shop, and I had up to $120,000 worth of product. And I was healthy and things were good. And then the last big crisis of the last big global crisis hit, and that was the global financial crisis. And what happened was that created massive stress for me, and my dream business turned into a nightmare. But a little bit about that business, it cost me about $300,000 to get involved with that. And there were huge overheads, about $370,000 a year, just before I even sold a product in expenses. And I was doing some very long hours, up to 80-hour weeks, and I really wasn't seeing my family much at all. So I wasn't getting the freedom that I'd hoped for by buying a business and being a business owner. I kind of really bought myself a very labor-intensive job. And then when the global financial crisis hit, it created a massive financial drain on the economy, and I unfortunately was forced to close my business. And then the stress of that brought out this health challenge that I'd managed for 20 years, and I started to really decline in my health and well-being. So 18 months later, I'd really lost a lot of my bodily functions. I was very, very dependent on my amazing wife, Nicole, who's also on the call today. You'll hear from her shortly. And I couldn't get out of bed to feed myself. I was slowly dying, and it was terrifying. It was very, very scary. And so my journey in traditional business ended up with me dying and bankrupt. Thankfully, someone interrupted our day and invited us to have a look at this new technology and this new business model. And that's exactly what we did. And life changed for us in a very, very big way. Within a very short amount of time, we were earning a 6-figure residual income just after 9 months. And we were doing that part-time around our full-time jobs. And then not long after that, we were starting to travel all over the world. We had this great community. We had a baby. We had a stay-at-home. We worked from home and a very flexible work schedule. And life really started to become quite amazing. We even did water skiing in Disney World and all sorts of cool stuff. And we got to experience the benefits of things like residual income, being a stay-at-home parent, and new friends and community, and amazing time freedom and location freedom. And that's what I want to introduce you to, the idea of what could you potentially create for yourself, and what could your story be. So this is all based on a very significant health product breakthrough of our lifetime And this technology, we're not going to go deep into this today, but by all means, you can see some of our other presentations that we do dive deep into the technology and the benefits that the technology has. But suffice to say, I feel like I've completely, I feel like it's saved my life, and I've seen it help a lot of other people, which is just phenomenal. So it doesn't really matter whether you want to look better, or whether you've got a health challenge, or you want to just feel better, or you're perhaps an elite athlete. This technology can really, really support you, and has for thousands and thousands of people around the world. And with every great product breakthrough or new scientific technology, there can also be an amazing opportunity and a business income opportunity. And that's more what we're talking about today. And for us, that was absolutely amazing. As a healthcare professional and in the health and wellness industry for 20 years, I never earned over 50 grand a year. And I helped a lot of people, but it certainly did not reward me financially. And I didn't get the freedom that I'd always dreamt of and that my ambition drove me to. And I can say today that the ASEA has more than amply rewarded me and given me the ability to be more charitable and to do a whole lot of things that I never could have in my previous career. And right now, a lot of people are really struggling with that. So just very briefly about this technology, it's about redox signaling molecules. And redox signaling molecules are the smallest physical particle of cellular communication, and every living cellular organism makes these molecules in the mitochondria. There was a Nobel Prize given for the discovery of the first redox molecules in 1998. So this technology is only 22 years old. There's now been over 18,000 scientific articles in medical journals that have been published, and over 1,200 books, and lots of university courses all over the planet that study this stuff. So there's a lot of science. It's actually one of the fastest growing areas of health research and scientific research around the world. So the science is proven, and there's independent of this company, science has proven that redox signaling molecules are absolutely foundational to cellular health and well-being. And prior to this, our understanding was if we could make our cells healthy, we could make our whole body healthy. Now we understand if we help our redox signaling molecules be healthy, we can help our cells be healthy, and so on. So that's the foundation of these products that we use in this amazing business. And these are just an example of some of the universities and some of the very well-respected research institutions and conferences that are happening all over the world. The Redox World Congress now has been operating since 1999. So it is a couple of decades old, even though the vast majority of people have never heard of redox signaling molecules. The big thing with redox signaling molecules is, and why they have such an impact on us, is as we age, we make a lot less of them. So we're at 100% production at the age of 13 or 14 years of age, but by 40 years of age, we're down to 50% in a healthy individual. And by 60 to 70 years of age, we're down to about 10%. And that means that our cells just simply can't get their signals through to detect problems, to protect themselves, to repair themselves, and replace themselves. And that's really why we begin to feel the signs and effects of aging. Thankfully, this amazing company, ASEA, put millions and millions into research and stabilized these very fleeting redox signaling molecules. And the genius is we now have this in a product. And after 10 years of being in business, they're still the only company in the world with a bioidentical, balanced redox signaling molecule products. And these three products are the redox products. They have also spent a fortune in research with a whole bunch of globally renowned research institutes and laboratories to prove the many health benefits and prove their active ingredients and so forth. And like I said, we have other presentations that really go much more into that. And I would encourage you to do your research and have a look at what these products can do for people. So this is the whole product range that they have today. The foundational technology was the liquid, and that actually came out in 2012. And 2014, the gel came to Australia. And thankfully, Nicole and I were some of the first few people to be told about this, and we shared it extensively, and we saw a huge amount of health benefits for people all over the world. A few years later, because of the huge outcry that this stuff was really helping with cosmetic benefits, that there was an introduction of a serum, a super concentrated version, as well as other supporting complementary products. And this is a gene study, an epigenetic study that was done in the US by one of the top nutrigenomic laboratories in the world. And it showed a 20 to 31% improvement in genetic expression in 5 key areas based on 120 mils of the liquid twice a day for 8 weeks. And this study is very, very high quality science. So after 10 years, there is no doubt this technology has been validated and proven that it really is quite extraordinary. And you might notice that these 5 key areas, the immune system, that correct immune system, remembering when I started this, I actually had an autoimmune disease and I don't today. That's pretty extraordinary. And that is a result that I didn't think was even possible before my experience with redox molecules. Cardiovascular disease and arterial elasticity, which is still the #1 killer in the Western world. Digestive enzyme and digestive function, digestive enzyme production. So many people experience a digestive issue. Hormone modulation. There is 1 in 7 people in the US diagnosed with a hormonal disease, diabetes, thyroid issues, those kind of things, and inflammatory issues. And all chronic degenerative disease starts with an underlying inflammation. So these 5 key areas that we've seen this genetic expression in would be 90% of the people that came into my health food shops and my natural therapies clinics and integrative medicine clinics where I've worked in the past. They would come in with one of these issues. And this one technology can help address all of these kinds of things. Okay, so there's a lot of validation. I would recommend you go to asiascience.com to have a look at that, or the redox.com, and don't use Google, but use Google Scholar or PubMed to find real science and research on redox signaling molecules. Okay, so these are just a few of the results. When we started putting the gel on people, and people were doing it all over the world, Facebook was filled with these amazing pictures of people's improvements in skin quality, tightness of skin, reduction of pigmentation and redness and things like that. And you really just got to experience it for yourself. Some of the key things that I love about this product is it's 100% safe. It's 100% zero toxicity. In fact, the redox signaling molecules, because they're native, they're the same as what we make in our body. The liquid redox is less toxic than water for us. And it has no contraindication to any medication. And it is complementary to every other therapy and modality out there. And that is very, very unique. So this product is the safest thing I've found in 25 years and the most effective. So now over the years, we've developed, we've heard a lot of stories from people using these products. And we're going to hear some people's stories today, of course. We've got some amazing ladies on here that are going to share their stories. But there is multiple resources to hear people's stories. And this is a great one. This is a secret Facebook group called Renew with Redox. And there are thousands and thousands of testimonies and people's stories on here to show and to give social proof of just how many people have been impacted and seen the benefits of these products. And I would encourage you that if you're not a part of that group and you're interested in this technology, please ask the person that invited you to come along to the webinar today to add you to that Facebook group or to speak to someone who can help you do that. Okay, so we're in a really interesting time at the moment. Even prior to the big COVID crisis that we're in, the economy's been changing for a long time. And this is Mel Robbins. She's the author of the 5-Second Rule. She's an amazing woman. And she says, we're in an enormous revolution right now. The entire economy and the way in which people work is changing before our eyes. The last few, in the recent times, we've seen Airbnb and Uber and different business models and using technology really change the way people are working. And especially with the COVID crisis, people are looking for ways to work from home and have more flexible hours. And that's exactly what has happened. And we've seen the boom in different types of business models. So when this company had this incredible technology, they needed to get it out to the people. And there was a big question of how do we get it out there? They actually tried to go through the corporate route, but they were very, very worried the technology would disappear. And they were offered a lot of money, close to $1 billion to sell that to a pharmaceutical company. And they chose not to do that because they were seeing fantastic results with people. And they were told that the product would be taken off them if they went down that route. So they chose the people. They turned down the money and they chose the people. And they also knew our founders were incredible men of integrity and they really wanted to help humanity. And they knew that word of mouth marketing or direct sales was the best way to get this story out there. And what is direct selling? So direct selling is really about people that sell products directly to other people, using their stories. It's been done since the beginnings of the economy. And at its foundation, the whole economy is about value exchange. In direct sales, you get to work whatever hours you'd like to choose, and you can do it in any location. You can do it in whatever country that the company distributes their products, and you can sell a little bit or a lot. It's up to you. Now then, there was an evolution of direct sales, and that's in the form of network marketing. And this has been proven to be one of the most effective business models on the planet today. In network marketing, you build a distribution of products and services using the old and most efficient form of advertising, word of mouth. It's been proven as a business system for nearly a century now. Warren Buffett says that if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And if you work a network marketing business and you cover enough time zones in the world, you can get paid while you sleep. You develop a residual income and it helps you get out of the rat race. You stop trading your time for money. And that is absolutely amazing to help people create freedom in their life. So how does network marketing actually work? So network marketing is not a job. It's a business where you build a long-term asset base. You build a team of people that work together to distribute products wherever the company operates in. There's three main activities that you do in network marketing. First, you be a raving fan of the products. Otherwise, you can't be authentic and you can't genuinely recommend things. And for me, I know that these health products are the best I've found in 25 years. I feel like they changed my life, and I'm certain they can save my life, not just changed it. And I'm certain that they can help a heck of a lot of people out there. You may want to think about your favorite things that you talk to people about. Your favorite movie, your favorite restaurant, perhaps your favorite clothing store, perhaps your favorite type of smartphone. When you're telling people what you love, I want you to ask yourself, do you get paid for those referrals? Probably not. In network marketing, you do get paid for those referrals. So you simply talk about the things that you love. And then the step two is to recommend those products, teach people how to use them to get the result that they're looking for. And step three is just to invite people to take a look. And that's what you're all doing today, is to have a look at this opportunity, particularly the business side of it today. Most of the time we focus more on the products. And some people do those processes mainly online. Some people do it mainly in person, not during the COVID crisis, but that's basically how we started, with small in-home meetings. But there's whatever combination you want to do it. The thing is, this business model creates freedom for you, and you get choices. You get to choose what you do with your time, and that is extraordinary. So why network marketing? The simple answer is lifetime income. In network marketing, you can build something once, your sales team and your distribution network, and you can get paid on that for life. Now that may take you 4 to 5 years or even longer, but you may get paid on that for 40 or 50 years if you choose the right company. You trade 4 to 5 years or so of part-time work to get paid for the rest of your life. And if you think about that, that's a pretty good trade. There's no jobs in the world there that you can do that. So what you're doing in network marketing is you're building an asset, and it has a life of its own. It has vision, it has ambition, and there's work happening. It can grow, you attract amazing people into it, and it evolves, it's alive. If you choose the right company, it can go on and on across multiple generations. And there are people today that are getting paid residual income for the work that their grandparents did 3 generations down the track. And that is an extraordinary opportunity and a good reason to think about investing your time into building a network marketing business. Okay, so now I'd like to introduce the amazing Nicole Dennis, who is also my wonderful wife, for her to tell us about her story and her experience in doing this. Over to you, Nicole.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for being here today, and for, if someone has invited you here, for putting your trust in them. I'd invite you all to stay to the end, because we actually have a really special offer for people that are attending this webinar right now. So I am, as well as alongside Justin, an ambassador diamond. We've been very fortunate to be in the $1 Million Earners of ASEA, and I'm also a representative on the ASEA Global Advisory Council. So my background is I was a corporate professional and nothing to do with wellness, worked in the engineering space, and now I'm a wellness entrepreneur. And that shift has allowed me to be a work-at-home mum. I love real food. I love to cook, so I get to do a lot more of that now. The beach is where I love to be. It was always part of my vision to live at the beach. This is a photo of the beach where we live. I love my dogs, and I love shoes too. So that's just a little bit about me. Next slide, Justin. Thank you. So I had a very successful corporate career and business prior to this, but it was kind of like golden handcuffs, right? Because I was very successful in my career. At the age of 27, I was the youngest person in management in a very male-dominated organization, but I just spent my life in meetings and just doing stuff I didn't really love. And so I had a lot of health challenges too. I had fatigue issues from around the age of 13 when I got a virus. And so I was always interested in health and well-being, and was always investing money into my health and wellness. But I really, really wanted to have more freedom and more flexibility. So I was always searching for an opportunity that would allow me to do that. So the entrepreneur life was calling me. So at the age of 27, I actually left my corporate career and I established my own project management consulting business, still in corporate, still in that same kind of world. And I was able to take that to multiple six-figure profit by the age of 30. And everyone was like, you should expand it and you should get staff. And I'm like, no, I don't want to run an adult daycare. No, thanks. I don't want to do that. And so it was just me trading my time for dollars. And I did get rewarded very well for what I did. But if I wasn't working, I wasn't getting paid. And when deadlines were looming, I worked nights and I worked weekends and things like that, because that's the nature of being in the project management industry, or waking hours sometimes. Sometimes there were times when I would have to actually stay in the city, because we live an hour away from the city, because I have to work so late and get up really early the next morning to finish stuff. So I just stay in a hotel and so I could get things done. So I had like more level of flexibility than being in corporate, but I was still really, really trapped in this time for dollars thing. So I was still open to looking for different opportunities, and I had dreams and I had desires for how I wanted to live my life. When I was young, this was my favorite cartoon, was She-Ra, and maybe I'm showing my age, but she was like this superhero who flew around on her horse, and she really helped people that were oppressed, like they had been oppressed. And a lot of people in our world are oppressed, like they're oppressed by the health system, they're oppressed in a job that they don't love. So I always really wanted to help people to have more freedom and fun in their life. And working in the kind of corporate environment that I did, I saw a lot of people, and particularly women, that were so stressed. They were trying to do their job, trying to manage their kids, trying to run their house. And you could see that they just felt like stretched really, really thin. I always wanted to live at the beach. So I was able to achieve that even prior to ASEA. It was always my dream to live at the beach. So we lived at the beach, and I used to drive an hour away to work with my clients. I wanted to be able to work at home, was one of my dreams, and take school holidays off when I had a family. So I wasn't trying to like do that juggle that I think is exhausting for everyone. And I wanted to have money to eat organic, to take care of my family, live in a nice home, travel to amazing places, be part of a community of like-minded people and like-minded entrepreneurs that wanted to create these different things in life, just didn't want to be kind of stuck in that 9 to 5. So I was able to achieve all of these things. This is us at the beach. That's Joy when she was much tinier, our daughter. I did mention I love shoes. This is my shoe collection, and me training Joy from a very young age to also have a love of shoes. So I was able to create this stay-at-home life because I made the decision before we even had our daughter to partner with ASEA. And ASEA was the vehicle that really brought all of my dreams and desires to reality. When I was partnered with ASEA, within less than 3 years of starting my ASEA business, I was able to fully transition out of my corporate project management career. And that was a very big income and business to kind of give up. I'd had that business for 16 years, and I was able to not need to do that anymore, and to be able to, say, I don't need that very significant income for my family anymore. Travel was one of my things. Travel was one of my desires that I had. And so we were able to travel the world. And the great thing with ASEA is that they have actually paid for us to go on every single one of these trips in this picture. So we've been to Hawaii, islands, Japan. We took Joy to Japan, snow skiing for her 3rd birthday, and took her to Harry Potter World, which was something that she really wanted to do. So I know travel, we can't do it right now, but it is something that a lot of people, when you talk to them, travel is something that people want to do. They want to explore and see other places and other cultures. So we've been able to do that. Okay, next one now. And then we've also been able to, I wanted to create a community of people that kind of shared the same vision and values as I did. You know, we're passionate about health, passionate about making a difference for people, passionate about improving their lives. And we've been really able to do that with ASEA. We've had a lot of fun times with our ASEA community, been able to do a lot of fun activities here in Australia and all around the world with people, and, you know, created memories that will last a lifetime. And I've done a lot of different personal development and been involved in a lot of communities before, but nothing ever like the ASEA community and the friendships and the bonds that you've been able to form. And I think the greatest thing about this is it sort of gave me, like, it's about believing, belonging, and becoming is the motto of ASEA. So I got to access a different kind of superpower, you know, always working to improving myself. And I've been very privileged to now be able to show other people that there is another way and that there is a different path, and, you know, speak to audiences of hundreds and thousands of people sharing that. And most importantly, you know, this path can allow you to change your life. So now I have a weekly income that pays me whether I'm working or not. And that is real freedom, because if I need to take some time to care for someone in my family or do something for myself, I can do that and know that I'm still getting paid. I can still pay and take care of all of my bills. And then, you know, I am able to contribute to causes and things like that more now as well, because I have that financial ability to do that. So it has been a huge, huge blessing to me in so many ways. And it was all about making a decision and taking action every single day. So that's a little bit of my story.
Yeah, on that, I think, didn't we? We helped out a whole bunch of homeless people get fed this week.
We did,
in the
yes.
Philippines. You know,
so we have an amazing executive assistant in the Philippines, and she last week, you know, out of her savings, prepared some money for homeless people in Manila, where she lives, because they're all in quarantine right now. So it's very, very tough times for them over there. And so we have sent over some more money to her so she can do it again and go and, you know, help people in her local community.
And she's the only one out of 10 people in her family that is still earning an income at the moment. So the reach that we have to contribute to people around the planet is just absolutely mind-blowing. Yeah. Now, look, I would love to introduce another amazing woman, a wow man. She's Sally Miss O'Diamond. She is a rocket, and she's been a big part of ASEA in Australia and around the world, is on a mission to make a difference herself. She's a double diamond executive. She's also Australia's representative on the Australian Medical Professionals Board. Welcome to the call, the amazing Sally. Tell us about your story.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us from near and far. So, as Justin said, I've been in the health game for about 29 years now, and it all started when I got very sick with glandular fever, chronic fatigue. It's a similar story going around the world. Many people are suffering from fatigue and don't really know why, and it generally comes from a virus. Mine was also from a virus, and it just kind of plagued me in different stages of life. And it wasn't really until I discovered ASEA that I was able to overcome that and get back to doing crazy things like bike riding and swimming, and, you know, really pushing myself on many different levels. But I came across ASEA and I was super skeptical. I didn't really want to look at it. Nicole and I had met at a networking event, which is kind of funny in itself, because it was a networking event to do with an online course. And, you know, we were total strangers until we exchanged business cards, and then nothing much really happened for probably a year or two. And I was kind of following their Facebook page. They had added me to Renew with Redox, and that page at the time only had 200 people on it. You just saw today, it's got nearly 20,000 people on it. And this is going back nearly 5 years ago. And Renew 28 and ASEA was not in Australia. And it was kind of just another one of those things that comes across the table. And, you know, there's always something new and something with flashing lights and something that we're kind of being drawn to all the time. And, you know, I thought ASEA was just another one of those things, but I sat on the fence for about 9 or 10 months, and I just watched and I observed, and I kind of sat in my little box just processing it. Meanwhile, I was busy, crazy, trying to keep a clinic, standing at a table, only making money when I stood there, you know, had a really great business. So wasn't really looking for a business opportunity, and was always dreaming of making money while I slept. It's kind of what my dad had always drummed into me: find a residual income, find another way, you're working too hard. And, you know, I love what I do, and I really love to help people. And I always had a goal and a dream of helping more people. So my goal, you can see there, is to help 10,000 people with their health in 33 countries. And I really just solidified that goal recently, because it was just this kind of broad spectrum. You know, I just want to help as many as I can. I want to save the world. I often hear people say they want to do a similar thing, but as a therapist standing in a treatment room one-on-one with someone trying to like help someone, you know, you can only do it with two hands. And so when I really launched into ASEA and I discovered that these products were life-changing, they were helping people whether my hands were attached to the tube or not, you know. And I did plenty of tests through my, you know, my practice and clinic with people where I would treat only one knee and I would renew the other knee, or I'd get them to put the gel on, and they were getting outstanding results with just using the gel. And so I thought, wow, I could actually, you know, go and have a coffee and leave them to just rub a tube of gel all over themselves, and they're still going to get some kind of benefit. And but I thought, how amazing if I had the opportunity to share this product with people who shared it with people who shared it with people. And I know there's some great faces on here today from America and New Zealand, and you know, it's through me saying yes and telling someone who told someone who told someone that these faces are actually here today. And when they tell their story of how these products have totally changed their health and their life, I didn't have to stand at a table to do that. So my goal of helping 10,000 people is really coming to life now, because I can't do that by myself in a treatment room. And when I acknowledged that, it was then the vision of what was I really dreaming about. And it was similar to Nicole's. We all want to just live life with our family and have amazing adventures and experiences. And the ironic thing about today is that we're all at home with our families, and I'm hearing a lot of people complain that they're stuck at home with their families, except when you talk to people, most people will say they just want to spend time with their family. So enjoy your time. We're going to be back to craziness before we know it. But, you know, to really be able to live out that dream and have the adventures with my family and go traveling to some really amazing places, which ASEA has paid for. You know, I love to travel. I spent my last 10 years, well, not so much my last 10, but I've spent a lot of time traveling. I've been to over 100 countries. And, you know, I worked on a cruise ship. I sailed around the world. I worked with women's tennis as one of their therapists, traveling and treating. But all those times that I was traveling, I was working, and I was working 12 and 14-hour days, you know, generally on a treatment table, whether it was standing on a fancy cruise ship looking out at sea, or it was standing on a treatment table in the dungeons at the Australian Open or the US Open or at Wimbledon. I was still working. So I had the dream and desire to be out traveling, but I wanted to actually travel. And when I heard that ASEA took you on trips and they paid for holidays and they had amazing training with all sorts of educators and things, I wanted to be a part of that. So I really reached out to help people, and the side effect or the side benefit was I got paid and I earned free travel. So my husband comes with me, my kids came with me. And then the third part of that, the last screen there, was about having a mission greater than yourself. And one of my great desires was to help people in the third world. It was to really, I thought it was to take healing modalities into the third world and teach someone how to use a device that they could look after their community. But recently we just partnered with ASEA Advancing Life Foundation, which is their foundation arm of what ASEA is. And they are supporting many, many charities. And one of their initiatives was here in Cambodia. And our last trip that we made, just as the coronavirus was breaking out, let's say, we took a group and it was about 8 of my team all went to Cambodia, and we helped to install water wells so they could have clean water. We helped to paint a school. We helped to plant gardens, and we did amazing things, which we're just starting to receive photos now of these gardens that are absolutely booming and flourishing. And the ironic thing is now all of us in the Western world, the developed world, are trying to plant gardens. And of course, Bunnings is out of seedlings and we can't buy seeds. And here we were in Cambodia planting these amazing gardens. And now that we all are wishing that we had those gardens in our backyard, because just that simple act now is providing incomes for those communities and families of $20 a week, which is huge. Most people in Cambodia earn less than $1 a day. So for us to be part of something much greater and bigger really sealed the deal for me on those 3 things. But I was listening to a podcast this morning, or an Audible, on Joe Vitale, Secrets to Making Money. And he really says, when you make the mission bigger than you, you know, that's when you can really start to, it's okay to have a job and make an income, but you're really only making an income and barely surviving. You can dream and be part of something bigger and earn an income that earns more than you need so that you can actually give back. So that's part of what makes me drive and strive for, you know, having a bigger team and a bigger reach and helping more people, is that we can actually give back and transform lives on a whole nother level other than just with a health product. So if you're sitting there and you're a little skeptical, you're a little unsure, the science is really solid. This is a product that has been around for 10 years. It's not just something that's flown in overnight and there's one or two little, you know, rah-rah people kind of raving on about a few testimonials. This is big, it's global, and it really is taking anything from acute to the severe chronic, and we're making a difference to their health on that real fundamental level of the cell and of health. So thanks for listening. I know we've got another great speaker here, Janene, so stay tuned.
Thank you so much, Sally. Really appreciate your sharing. And obviously everyone on the call can hear her heart and where she's coming from. And that's what we really want to introduce you to today. ASEA really has 3 products. It has its life-changing physical products. It has the business opportunity, but it also has this incredible culture and this mission that is bigger than any one of us that we can all be a part of. And now I want to introduce you to another amazing woman with a huge, huge heart. She's a powerhouse. I just love her to bits. I wish she was my mum. I'm sure my mum's not listening, right? Right. But I wish I grew up in her house. How about that way? Like, she is a big part of our life these days, and I've got massive respect for the amazing Janene Babauskas. She is a diamond in ASEA. She's been a part of this journey with us for a long time. I couldn't imagine life without you, Janene. Thank you so much for joining us today, and would you like to share your incredible ASEA story as well, please?
Thanks so much, Justin. Yeah, so beautiful, your introduction, and welcome everybody. And thank you for, you know, joining us today. And, you know, I had an epiphany at 20 years of age, and that was that I was responsible for my health and well-being, because I wasn't enjoying good health. I got that it wasn't up to my doctor and it wasn't up to the government. So I started to pay attention to what I was putting into my body, and also the ingredients that were in personal care products. And that's really where my journey started, around health and well-being. First of all, to look after myself, but I also loved sharing that with others. And that formed the basis of my businesses moving forward. And along the way, I got introduced to some amazing technology, and I would say they'd be state of the art, you know, game changers. And not only did I use that technology for my own health and well-being, but I also introduced the technology to all of my clients. And now, without exception, all of those technologies were distributed by a word of mouth model. And, you know, we're going back 30 years here. And it didn't take me long to work out why they were part of this model. Because the products were unique, people required education and support to be able to get the value out of their investment in these products with their health and well-being. So, you know, I got to see that when things came into the market. You're not going to find them on a shelf in your health food shop or anywhere in a retail outlet. So fast forward now to 2003. Some great technology came to Australia, and I took on pioneering this technology to all Australians, because it occurred to me that this technology changes people's lives, and I'm going to get out there and beat the drum for it. So I had 10 very, very successful years. This was more of a direct selling model. It's a little bit different to network marketing. I'll explain what that difference is in a minute. But probably the kindest way to say it is, along the way, management lost their way. And as a result of that, the culture became incredibly corrupted. And it occurred to me very quickly that I didn't want to be part of this anymore. And I resigned in 2013. So after 10 years of being very successful, I stepped away from that. So Justin, thank you. Now, because I was very successful, I'd earned a reasonable amount of money, and the bank loaned me a lot of money. So I went out and bought an apartment in Queensland, and I completely gutted and renovated my home. Now, the interesting thing about this model is, you know, you're meant to be in your own business, but you weren't actually. You were really an employee. So the day I stepped away, I had zero income. I handed my whole income over to another person who'd only been with the company for a very short time. Now, I knew that was going to happen, and I knew I was going to be in struggle town when it came to my finances, but resolving that seemed more attractive than staying. So went on to New Horizons. Next slide, please, Justin. And I thought, well, I'm going to channel one of my passions into my next business. So I started creating menus and started running cooking classes, doing something I absolutely adore, and that's cooking and also teaching others. But a few months in, it became very apparent to me that all I was doing was trading my time for money. I had zero leverage. Like when I was sleeping and not in front of a class, I wasn't earning any money. It also occurred to me there is not enough hours in the day for me to be generating the kind of income I needed to service my debt, and I was going backwards $1,000 a week. So just imagine that. So here I was now, 2014, and I've got to say, when I resigned from this other company, I was very, very burnt out. You know, I worked hard, then I worked harder, and then I did more. And I kept that going for 10 years. So now, 2014, I'm still feeling really burnt out. And that scared me because I'm a health practitioner. I have all the answers, but the answers weren't working. I was now at risk of losing my home. I had a lot of joint damage that I'd had for years that wasn't healing. Terribly low in energy. I wasn't sleeping, and I was turning 60, and for the first time in my life I started to look my age. So I knew if I was starting to look rustier on the outside, I was rusting out faster on the inside. And worst of all of this, I was now a source of worry for my daughters rather than being an inspiration. So I'm going to fast forward to September 2014. Look, you know, I've done a lot of personal development. I've done a lot of mindset work. I had all the tools, but you know what? I wasn't using them. You know, when I was teaching, I looked really functional, but when I went home and closed the doors, I was very dysfunctional. I was very sad and I was very lost. And a good friend of mine said, hey, why don't we facilitate the Born Rich program? And it's a program that, you know, him and I had utilized over the years. And let's get 10 people together and help them set their goals and achieve their dreams. And what was really going on was that we were setting goals to achieve our dreams. So it really strengthened my intention and my purpose. And I set my goal. It was one of those goals. It's like, oh my God, I have no idea how I'm going to achieve that. And that's the perfect goal for one of these programs. And 3 months in, I received a Facebook message from Cheryl Penrose. I didn't know her very well. And all she said was, hey, you know, there's this unique technology. It's to do with health. It's natural. Take a look at it. Now, as Sally was saying, these things come across, you know, your computer all the time. There's always people reaching out with the latest thing. And often I ignored them. Sometimes I took weeks to look at them. But in this case, I clicked on it straight away. And I was starting to watch some you know, some research that was done with the lead athletes. And look, bottom line, within 5 minutes, I started to get goosebumps. Now, what that did was it started to raise questions immediately. So unlike other times, I picked the phone up straight away and I rang Cheryl Penrose, and I had so many questions. You know, tell me about the product, the safety, the efficacy. Is the marketing plan good? What's the company culture and ethos? You know, what's their mission? And do they know how to steer this ship to awesome? Because that's where it could be going. In other words, do they know what they're doing when it comes to big business? How many countries is this product in? Is there a risk of a copycat product? Because that had happened to me before and it destroyed my business. What are their product and business tools? Who are the mentors and field leaders? Who are these people? And do they have business tracking tools? Well, Cheryl was incredibly smart and incredibly quick. Within hours, she had me connected to these amazing people we're looking at here. Trish Schwinkler, who was then and today the biggest income earner in ASEA. I didn't know that when I was connected up. I was just introduced to her as Trish. Justin and Nicole, they were in the United States at the time, and Bobby and Jerry Martin, who also live in the States. Now, I had a 2.5-hour webinar with these people. I didn't know them, but what I got all my questions answered and more. And I also got to experience people who had a heart and the generosity of them, and that really touched me. So I said to these amazing people, okay, you know what? I understand the product's safe. Does it work? I don't know. So I'm going to order some product in. And back then in Australia, we only had Renew 28, and they said, just apply it to different parts of your body twice a day. And I said, and then I'll talk to people. And they said, and then you have to do whatever feels right to you. Good answer. Well, what happened? 6 weeks, my body healed. Like I felt like a different person, not only physically, but mentally and spiritually. I had 3 clients ask me if I'd had a facelift, which was lovely. And my mojo was back. And 6 weeks in, I met up with 2 of my friends, and they go, oh my God, what are you on? I want to know about it. And I said, I'm so glad you asked, because you know what? I've discovered something that everybody needs to know about. So I'm still facilitating the Born Rich program. And in July, I hit a rank called bronze, you know, and just to say what happened then was Nicole came down to Melbourne, and I got some friends together in my lounge room. We had fun. We drank wine. We drank tea and coffee. And Nicole, you know, shared what redox molecules are and what they make available to us. Like for me, I was being social. Then Cheryl came down and we did another one. And this is basically what was happening. This is how I'm sharing. I'm just being in a social, and I'm learning about this technology. It was super, super exciting. Anyway, at the end of the Born Rich program, I was earning an extra $1,000 a week. And I've got to tell you, that turned the train around that was heading for the cliff. And now I was looking into a future that was bright, that there were choices for me. So between these 2 years here, what did I do? I played, I had fun, I experienced ease. I'm still running this other business, but I'm traveling the world with my daughters. And as other people have said today, it was all paid for by ASEA. And also you can see me having fun there with my ASEA family, which is global, by the way. Having just so much, creating so many extraordinary memories. I'm never going to forget these times. It was just amazing. Then in 2018, in February, I hit Diamond. And what does that mean? It just means that I've had the extraordinary benefit of helping a lot of people. And still got to say, I was not full-time with ASEA at this time. I was still running another business, and I was probably doing 20 hours a week with ASEA. So, you know, and really having an extraordinary time and learning and developing. I mean, the education has just been such a beautiful time. So then we just go to our last slide, which I'm hoping you got another one there, Justin. And look, this was my journey. You know, this was the first time I'd been introduced to this ethos of believing, belonging, and becoming. And believing, you know, in an industry, in a company, and in a technology. But more important than that even, it was believing in myself again. You know, that was there for me. And that was the biggest gift from this, along with the gift of contributing to others, because this whole industry is your success is reliant on who you are for others and your contribution to others. So that's the gift in the journey. And, you know, really this is just a disguise for becoming a better person. And I love Dr. Shackley saying here that success in this industry, it's not in finding the right person, but it's in becoming the right person. So, you know what, we have all the tools here. We've got everything you need. You learn as you earn. If you're sitting there thinking, well, that all sounds great, but I don't have those skills. None of us had those skills when we started. We all learned them, and we were mentored, and I'm still mentored today. And yeah, so thank you so much. I'm so appreciate being invited today to share the story, and I'm going to hand you back to Justin. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you so much, Janene. Wouldn't be here without you. You're just an absolute inspiration for me and an absolute blessing to my life. So I'm sure all of you listening, you know, there's some thoughts going through your mind right now, like who are these amazing wonder women, you know, women that are creating these powerful businesses and making a real impact in so many people's lives. And who's thinking about how much fun they've had and places they've been. If you're, you know, put in the comments, me too. If you want to be someone who travels the world, who contributes to others, who actually believes in yourself and gets, you know, confident and gets free financially, like, why wouldn't you want that? You know, what we have to offer is truly an exceptional gift. The products are amazing, the business is amazing, but the culture and who we get to be in this industry is just phenomenal. So put me too in the comments if that's of interest to you. And, you know, we're going through a really interesting time. There's so many people suffering on the planet. Even before the big COVID crisis happened, Australia was already in recession. A lot of people don't realize that the economy was starting to really slow down around the world. And there's probably a lot of people that have had some financial hardship of late, right? And, you know, how many Australians get to retire fully financially abundant and prosperous? 1%. And unfortunately, that statistic goes around the world. And many people don't realize that it is, you know, very few people get to be successful when it comes to financial well-being and to really have financial security as we get older in life and we can get free. So if you've experienced some financial stress, or you would like to improve your financial situation, pop in there, you know, like, yeah, prosperity, please. Pop in the comments, prosperity, please. And that's, we actually help people to envision that and to create that and manifest that and build that into their life, because it is important. If we solve the problem, if we solve the money problem, it is much easier to solve all of the other problems that we have in life. And there's some really interesting facts around direct sales that a lot of people don't realize. There's a lot of ignorance around what we do and what this industry is really about. But when you look at just the facts and how economically successful network marketing has been, it is mind-blowing. In the last 25 years, it's had consistent growth with over 57% in the last 5 years. The global industry is $190 billion US dollars in 2017, which is bigger than the US music and movie industries combined. There's over 500,000, 500,000 people that enroll in direct sales every week. And there's currently less than 1% of the world's population that are involved in this business model. So many people are not experiencing the benefits of what this business model has to offer. Network marketing companies are actually the second highest performing stock on the US stock exchange. However, if you want to really you need to choose a good company. A private company with excellent leadership is not going to be based on profitability. A publicly listed company is accountable to its shareholders. And ASEA has a very different ethos. They've proven that in the beginning when they turned down the big bucks from a pharmaceutical company in order to protect this technology and make it a mission to humanity. But that statistic does prove how economically capable this business model are. And many of the world greats, entrepreneurs, Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump, even Warren Buffett, have all owned network marketing companies because they know how successful a business model it can be. In 2014, 90% of the women in the US that earned over $100,000 a year did it in network marketing. It's a phenomenal industry and anyone really can have access to it. And it is important that if you do choose to do this as a business and you invest in your time and you create a legacy, that you do that in partnership with a legacy company. And that means you've got to be a raving fan of the products. You've got to love what you're selling and stand behind it and have the confidence to know you're adding massive value. Also, look at the retention rate. That means that people that purchase the products 12 months, 2 years, three years down the track, are they still using the products? ASEA has one of the highest retention rates in the entire industry. Be careful of hype and look at track record. You know, facts tell, but, you know, hype can be misleading. You know, ASEA is not a company where we're really advertising super yachts and Ferraris. It's not about that. It's about creating stability and long-term freedom and contribution to others. So you don't want to be choosing the next flashy thing that comes around. You want something that's got the runs on the board, and ASEA does. It's been profitable since 9 months of operation. It's been operating for 10 years now. It's in 33 countries in the world. They have zero debt. They control the distribution network, 19 distribution centers around the world, lots and lots of statistics and facts. They own their manufacturing plant for redox. They own their administration building. You know, they're a rock solid company. And when you're making a choice to invest your time and energy, you want to do that with discernment and have a look at this research and make the right decision. And of course, culture. When I was very young, I always wanted to do great things. And someone said to me when I was in my late teens, to be successful, you have to surround yourself with like-minded, like-valued people, you know, people that see the world in a similar way and encourage you, and you can work together. Team stands for together, everyone achieves more. And ASEA has an incredible, honorable culture where everyone is made important and everyone gets to contribute. It's amazing. So for Nicole and I, when we discovered this, and it really was when one of my clients and a patient started earning money by referring it, that I became a raving fan of not just the health products, but the business opportunity, because I saw patients who were bedbound start to make money and be able to pay for their health and well-being and get out of poverty. And that was amazing. And so we created the Shine Bright team. And the Shine Bright team is all about supporting you to be your very best. We have a whole bunch of systems to help you be successful. We've got lots of events. We've got lots of, we've got Facebook groups and websites and so forth, and lots of resources to help you leverage and be more effective. This is our step-by-step Empower Your Success program. There's a whole lot of modules that you work through. And so we actually mentor you through this. Like Janene said, there's great systems and support when you're a part of this. There is an income level that is equivalent to every ambition level within ASEA. This is the income disclosure statement. It's a legal document. We have to show people when we talk about earning what sort of income you can earn. This one is from 2019, and this one is in Australian dollars. And you can see there the monthly low, the monthly high, and the monthly income. There is incredible money to be made. Like I said, $50,000 a year. I never made that in 20 years of my life. Even being a paramedic, working at night, you know, like 3 o'clock in the morning, pulling people out of car wrecks on Christmas Day, I still didn't earn the kind of money, anywhere near like the kind of money that I've earned today. And I've actually helped a lot more people today. So yeah, the income level is absolutely amazing, and it's residual. So what do we have? In summary, you know, we've got a discovery that is significantly impacting people's health, and the science is proven on that. The products are validated, and by all means do your discernment and have a look at some of the other presentations. We've got a technology that science around the world is really excited about. Redox signaling technology is cutting edge. It's next generation healing technology, and no one else has got it. So it's unique to our company. And we've got a distribution model that is hugely growing. In fact, in Australia and New Zealand, ASEA has grown 80% in the last 2 years. And globally, it grew 50% last year, and it grew 50% the year before. That is massive growth, even at a time where many countries are starting to go into recession. And that in the first, we've had record weeks in the last month in ASEA as well, even in the COVID crisis. So it's pretty amazing. So where are you at, and what would you like to do? You know, the bottom line is we've got an extremely affordable, home-based, online wellness business. It provides a lot of people's, it can provide a lot of people's can provide the solution to a lot of people's challenges and a lot of people's desires. You are supported by a team that genuinely cares about you and has great systems and support. The income is based on how much product you move through your team and through yourself personally. The training and mentorship is free. You know, we're all in this together to help each other. And the residual income is amazing. When you can earn an income even when you're asleep, that truly adds towards financial freedom, and you get to make a big impact on people. You change people's lives with this. I've had, you know, sometimes I get letters and messages and text messages that, you know, really make me go to tears because of the difference I know that I've made in people's lives and the gratitude that people show for that. It's just a beautiful thing. put in the comments, me too, if you want to get love mail. You know, who doesn't want that? It's a great way to feel good about what you're doing in the world. So where do you see yourself? You may want to just try the products for yourself, and that's great. You can do that retail or wholesale, and that's a great way to explore this and just get the health benefits for yourself. But if you are looking to supplement your income, to have a second business on the side or a side hustle, particularly in these economic uncertain times, and one that can persist and resist. In fact, our company has actually grown during the COVID crisis, which is amazing. You can be a sharer, and whether you do that small or big time, that's completely up to you. And number 3 is, if you choose to be a lifestyle entrepreneur and you want to work from anywhere in the world, have time and money freedom, and have a lifestyle income that can truly transform not only your life, but potentially the life of generations of your family to come, that is absolutely possible through ASEA. So for watching this webinar today and registering for the webinar, we do have a very special offer. We don't get these bonuses very often, so please take advantage of it. It only lasts for 72 hours, and that is a free tube of Renew 28. So in Australian dollar terms, that's $52.50 worth of wholesale value. Retail, I think it's more like 67 or something. But yeah, so if you do want to become a customer or an associate, which is a business builder, and you do enroll today with at least 150 PV, the person who invited you, you can go back to and have this discussion about. But that's a good try of both products, perhaps 4 bottles and 2 tubes. That's what they call as 150 PV. And then order 100 PV, maybe 4 tubes or 4 bottles worth of product for next month as well, which of course you're not paying for at the time. You pay for that next month, and you can cancel that at any time. And there is a 100% money back guarantee on the product for up to 30 days and up to 90% up to 90 days as well. The company's got excellent customer service and excellent integrity and ethics. The preferred customers is the same amount. It's just the PV looks a little bit different. But if you choose to do that, you get a free tube of Renew 28, which is a nice bonus and a good way to be able to share it with more people as well. So how to claim your free tube, if you choose to jump on board and join us, then please let us know. Follow these instructions. Please email hello@GoJustin and Nicole with a screenshot of your enrollment order and your order ship, and put the subject free Renew 28, and we will make sure that happens for you. Okay, so I want to thank you, give a huge shout out for all of you today for coming on, and for those watching the recording, thanks for listening to these amazing, wonderful women I get to work with every day and being a part of this journey. And yeah, let's sign off for now. Ladies, did you want to say goodbye?
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. I look forward to joining you on your journey.
Thank you everyone for joining us. And if you have any questions, reach out to the person who invited you, and they can connect you up with the relevant one of us. We'll be able to help get all your questions answered. And yeah, take advantage of the offer for a free tube, because I don't think we've ever had that before for an online webinar.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a great night or day.
Wishing you all the very best of health, happiness and prosperity. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.